Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreath.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 midday, and right now you're taking a look at some of the wind gusts that we are seeing along the coast, and some of these wind gusts starting to get into the west side valleys right now, at least into the Shasta Valley. So it'll be interesting to see if this actually shoots up into portions of the Rogue Valley later on today. And we do have a wind advisory in place for the Rogue Valley because we're expecting winds to gust all the way up to 55 miles per hour there, 55 miles per hour for the Shasta Valley, but up to 80 miles per hour along the southern Oregon coastline. So that's why we have a wind advisory in place for tonight into early in the morning on Thursday. That would be a high wind warning for the coast. So even though it's pretty gusty there now, it's going to get a whole lot worse as we get later and later into the day. And then we do have those wind advisories in place for the valleys. That is already in place for right now, and it runs until 4 p.m. on Thursday. And it's because of this storm system, this big mid-latitude cyclone that continues to spin in the Pacific, bringing this very potent atmospheric river into southern Oregon and northern California. So we're going to split this up into two sides now, the east side and the west side. The east side seeing this pretty powerful band of snow that is working through Klamath and Lake counties. Then we have some more moisture back building on the west side right now. So heavy rain falling in the Grants Pass area. This will eventually get into the Rogue Valley. So we'll time out the rest of this with Stormcast. We'll stop this right around dinner time, and we're going to be dealing with the same thing, widespread rain and snow, although maybe it could be a little bit less snow because snow levels will be ascending. And then into the overnight hours, so late on Wednesday and early on Thursday, it's this little band right here that we're starting to get a little bit concerned with. This could provide some very intense rainfall to the coast and also some very impactful winds. That's actually why we have that high wind warning in place. And then tomorrow gets very interesting. So earlier model runs, I should say, we're bringing all of this inland, but now it looks like the atmospheric river is going to stay primarily along into the west of the Cascades. So model runs have started to get pretty consistent with this over the past couple of hours. So we're going to, I think, tend to agree with what this model is putting out. And then we'll have more rain, of course, in a Friday, as it just seems like this pattern is never going to end. All right, rainfall totals through Thursday night, maybe upwards of 2 to 3 inches for Mount Shasta City. I think that's getting pretty aggressive, especially now that the atmospheric river for tomorrow is looking like it's going to stay along the coast. So a little bit too aggressive with this total, but I think maybe we're lowballing what we're estimating for the coast, and for the west side valleys, we're probably going to unluck out, if you will, when it comes to some of the rainfall totals, because dry air is going to fill into the valleys, and a lot of that moisture is going to evaporate before it actually makes it down to the valley floor. Snow levels right around 4,500 feet for today into this evening, but then going up to around 6,000 to 7,000 feet overnight. So the bulk of the snow you see on this map will actually fall throughout the course of today, and the biggest impacts will continue to be for Black Butte Pass and for Snowman Summit. That's why we have a winter weather advisory, winter weather advisory in place for Siskiyou County in elevations above 4,000 feet. That runs until 7 p.m. this evening. So travel is going to improve into Thursday and Friday just because the snow levels will go up, but then they're going to come back down into Saturday. So for today, rain, winds, and snow primarily in elevations above 4,500 feet. Overnight, those snow levels will continue going up, winds also going up. And the winds will be a big problem in early on Thursday. Get a bit of a break for Friday, at least with some higher snow levels. It doesn't look as wet, but then snow levels will come back down for Saturday, and then we have more wet and wintry weather beyond that. Here's your 7-day forecast for the coast. Wet and windy. Looks like the windiest time frame will be tonight into Thursday morning. For Siskiyou County, we'll eventually all see a transition back to rain. And then snow will come back into the forecast on Monday, but we're at least going to get a break from the snow for a little while, Thursday through Sunday. For the east side, we will see maybe a trace to an inch for Klamath Falls and for Lakeview, then for Oregon 140, maybe a couple inches before those roadways will improve in Thursday and Friday with higher snow levels. The Cascades and Siskiyous could also see a transition to rain for Thursday and Friday before snow levels get low enough for Saturday for there to be some snow. And then for the Rogue Valley, very wet, very windy, especially over this next 24 to 36 hours. But then the rain continues for a million hours after that.
A million, pretty scientific. We did see on Monday one of those kind of break days. We saw a little bit of sunshine in the Rogue Valley. It looks like aside from the Rogue Valley, we do have rain likely, getting a little bit of a break from the windy and breezy conditions, but it doesn't look like there's many breaks over the next week.
I'm not seeing one. I think maybe Friday could be a little bit on the lower end of the scale as far as impacts go. But then Saturday, Sunday, that storm system's looking pretty potent. Monday, maybe a slight break, but Tuesday also looking pretty ferocious. And then Tuesday morning and a Wednesday, early indications are that that storm system's going to be very intense in terms of winds and also in terms of rain and snow as well. So if there's a break over the next 7 days and beyond that, I'm not really seeing it.
Okay, so just kind of brace for impact at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Of course.